In the world of craft beer, the list of styles seem endless, and so do the questions. What is a Kolsch? What kind of glass should be used for an IPA? What is the right temperature to serve a stout? Each week, we will dive deep into craft beer styles and help you answer these types of questions and many, many more about your favorite craft beverage. This is the Style Files. Well, hey guys, what is going on? This is the Style Files, and I am your host, Kenny Hyman, aka the Brewer of Seville, and I am here with the one and only Vocac Roberto.
I mean, I'm not the actual one and only.
I know.
My dad's name.
There's actually a better one, a better version of one.
So, yeah.
I saw him, actually, a couple days ago. He was carrying a pizza out of your joint.
There we go.
He had a Papa John's pizza.
Hey, whatever. So Stephanie hit me up with that. She's like, your dad came in, brought pizza for everybody. I was like, oh, shit. I didn't even know he was around.
She told me how much she loves your dad. She's like, when he comes in, I just want to hear him tell stories. So apparently your dad's a popular storyteller there.
He's got a lot of them, that's for sure.
Well, we are going to be talking this week about style number 19C, which is the American Brown Ale. We've done the English Brown Ale. Not sure what week that was, but this is week 32.
It was one of those weeks.
Early
weeks,
on.
Yeah.
But I think it was a single week, one of the first numbers,
yeah.
1 through 10, 1 through 9.
That's good beer. I'm interested to see the difference.
Yeah. So this one is from another Ohio brew.
That. You don't need to talk about that yet.
I don't.
You tell these people how they can give us their money.
That's right.
For all the hard work that we do.
Go to patreon.com/Pint Talking Pint Club. If you're watching this video, you can scan that QR code that's on the screen.
It's right there.
Or you can actually type in the website if you are afraid of QR codes. And you can still end up at the same location. And you will be able to select one of the 3 tiers, $5, $10, $20. Each one of those tiers gives you a higher number of chances to win the 6-pack of beer that's given away once a month, thanks to our friends at brewpigeon.com. Formerly Rivalry, now Brew Pigeon.
Yeah.
And then you also get this show and Pint Talking ad-free and early released. You get a power hour once a month. That's a sometimes 90-minute show. We are recording that more. Sometimes more. We're now doing that on video, so that comes out video and audio for our Patreon members. And then you also get
beer on your birthday.
That's
a sticker.
You can get into the Facebook group. Yes, Bob's got it all.
That's right.
So go on over there, sign up. Also, I don't usually ask for this, but not in this show anyways. Leave a rating and review, man. It seems to help.
Always do that.
Any place,
3 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. Any place that you can rate the show, if it's through Spotify or iTunes. I don't know the other ones if they enable ratings.
Apple podcasts for sure.
Apple and definitely Spotify do it. So
do it. It helps us get in front of more people, and that way we can hopefully do more podcasts for you guys.
Yeah. So hopefully that's
what we're here for.
This episode is I'm hoping that this one will be the first one for sure that's up on YouTube. So
nice. There we go.
This will be on our on the Brewer of Seville YouTube channel, which I got to figure out what the hell that's called. I think it's just called youtube.com/Brewer of Seville. But
yeah, it works.
I want to make sure, but just Google it. Google Brewer of Seville on there.
Yeah. That's a good plan.
And then also if you do Amazon shopping, which I mean, I think everybody in the free world does.
I've never shopped from Amazon.
You never? No, not one time.
No, I do quite a bit. Yeah.
I figured. You can do it through the Amazon link, which Bob does not do very often.
I've never done that.
No, you did it once.
I did it once.
You did buy something.
I just forget all the time.
Yeah, I know.
It's stupid.
It's kind of a pain in the ass. Now, the best way to do it is if you're doing it on a computer, you can bookmark it.
Who does things on computers? Huh?
I do. I still do.
I was about to say, you talked about that QR code earlier, and I was like, how do I scan a QR code when it's on my phone already?
Yeah, well, so if you're at home watching this show on like your laptop, or if you're like, man, so what Tim did, he put us up on his 4K TV for the power.
Oh, yeah?
He streamed to that. Yeah.
That's got to be terrifying.
Oh my God. I was like, Jesus, I really need to get some makeup, put it on, dampen this shine.
Yes, help us out, everyone, so we can get an intern to do production and also makeup.
Makeup. Yeah, we need a whole crew here. It's getting out of control. We can't afford it otherwise.
I'm trying to do this for you guys. All right.
We're
trying to be our best selves for you guys.
This is all for you. Style 19C, Robert. Let's crack
a beer. Oh, that's a glass.
Let's do it together.
Oh God.
Wow.
It went everywhere.
That's what she said. We didn't even tell him the name of this beer because
it doesn't matter.
It's a name that's hard to pronounce, really.
Ryan will know it though.
Ryan, our one of our listeners, Ryan, our Patreon member,
Kilbane.
He will know this one. Chomolungma. Chomolungma. It is a
doing quality pour here.
6 point. I think mine turned out pretty damn nice.
You did a great job. I did a horrible job.
Bob's got way more head. I don't know what he's doing. Don't pour it so hard, Bob.
Trying not to.
This is a 6.5%, 33 IBU. This brown ale was brewed to commemorate the 2007 Lungevity Everest Expedition. The people of Tibet called Mount Everest Chomolungma, and this exceptional ale carries on the spirit of this climb. 7 malts, 3 hops, and 100 pounds of local wildflower honey give this ale an exceptional character. Baked muffins, dark fruit, bittersweet chocolate, rich honey, and earthy, subtle hops caress the palate.
Wonder why they chose this style for the longevity climb.
I mean, nothing says climb Mount Everest like a earthy chocolate. I gotta zoom in. Look at this fucking guy's pour. This
terrifying.
is. I wish you could see this on the audio realm. If you're not watching this, it's ridiculous.
Wish you could see it on the audio realm.
You could if you go to the video. So one thing, the American brown ale is roasted malt, caramel-like, and chocolate-like characters. Should be medium intensity in both flavor and aroma for the American brown ale. American-style brown ales have evident low to medium hop flavor and aroma and medium to high hop bitterness, which is kind of weird, right? It has low to medium hop flavor, but medium to high hop bitterness.
To be honest with you, so you've read through this style already, as have I. None of this makes any sense to me. It's some homebrewer nonsense that just like they're putting into action that I think has nothing to do with the actual style.
Basically, we can jump all the way to the history because it's like basically the Americans took the English brown and just said, fuck it, we're going to do whatever we want to this thing. We want to make this a brown IPA essentially with chocolate and
the
roastiness.
Thing because not one brown ale I've ever had that's been considered a brown ale has tasted like a brown IPA.
Mm-mm.
So why are they considering that? Oh, it's very hoppy, and it's like no, nobody does that.
And I'll say about this particular beer is I don't get a ton of bitterness.
Not at all. No,
not a lot of hoppiness.
To be honest with you, if I ever did get like bitterness on a brown ale, I would not like that brown ale. I'd probably be like, you've made a shitty brown ale.
Right.
Like if I got a super bitter, I'd be like, this is a brown IPA. Just call it that.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is.
Yeah. It boggled my mind when I read that. I was like, what? Because if you go down and you're looking at the ABV 4.3 to 6.2, okay, 18 to 35 IBUs is not
It's not bitter
at all. Bitter,
it's not bitter,
even on the high end.
Using darker malts, like you're balancing out that roast bitterness with the hop bitterness, and you're not getting anything crazy bitter out of it.
Yeah, no, and then
goofy.
Color is 18 to 35. The serving temp on this 45 to 50. I think that's fair with this one because you're going to open up with the roasty or the roasted malts. And
I agree with that. Yeah,
the chocolate and definitely, yeah, for sure.
Last week didn't make any sense for a goddamn IPA.
Check this. So serving pressure 5 to 8 psi. What do you think of that?
This is a cask beer. What are we doing?
That
here?
seems awfully low, right? Awfully low.
It's quite low.
The overall impression of this beer is a malty but hoppy standard strength American ale, frequently with chocolate and caramel flavors.
I disagree with all of this.
I don't agree with that.
Style makes no sense.
I would actually say, in my mind, this beer is more close to a brown ale than what I'm reading in front of me right now.
100%. Yeah. Like I said, we read through it. It doesn't make any sense.
No, none at all. The hop flavor and aroma complement enhance the malt rather than clashing with it. Okay. The appearance, light to very dark brown color, which this is probably I'd say brown. Medium to dark.
You think it's medium? I don't know. Double light. Yeah, it's got a little red. It's got a little amber.
Yeah,
I guess you can go with the red or the light.
Sorry. I thought I turned my lights up for. Apparently, I did not. Oh, I did. They're just not all the way up there. How's that? Now you can really see my red fucking face.
That's it.
Matter of fact, just keep listening on the audio realm. Don't go to the video. The appearance, we did that. Aroma profile, moderate malty sweet to malty rich aroma with chocolate, caramel, nutty, or toasty qualities.
I agree with that. That is first thing I've agreed with this.
You're down with that?
Other than the color.
Let's see.
And then the next thing, yeah, the hop aroma is typically low to moderate. So you just said this is going to be fucking hoppy. It's malty but hoppy.
Well, the messed up thing is it says, because let's look at the flavor profile real quick. Strong and complex hop flavors. But how can that be?
It makes no sense.
How can you have a strong and complex hop flavor, but only have a low to moderate hop aroma? I don't understand. Help me understand this.
Also being the hop flavor and aroma complement and enhance the malt rather than clashing with it, but yet it's low to moderate in aroma.
I don't get it, man.
It doesn't make any sense.
So the dark malt character is more robust than other brown ales, yet stops short of being overly porter-like.
Okay, yeah.
Which, honestly, like, this is a pretty roasty brown ale.
I like it with that for sure, but you're right.
But I get the honey. There is honey in this one, which I don't know. I don't see anything anywhere in here about sweetness. So, well, dry to medium dry finish, not sweet or heavy. It doesn't say anything about adjuncts like honey though.
Sure. I mean,
but you know what? Here's the thing. This is the most bullshit made up category I think we've dealt with yet. It's
one of them. We've had some other ones that have not been pleasant.
And it's like you could just do whatever you want with this.
True.
If you want to put honey in the fucking thing, put honey in it, you know? Which I think kind of makes it taste pretty good. Like this is a damn good taste in beer.
Yeah.
Like it's probably not going to score very well on the BJCP guideline, but if I'm giving it an untapped rating, I'm giving it way higher.
Sure. Very light too, which is nice. Like,
what's that?
It's very, very light in body.
Yes, for sure.
I think is sweet. I like for what it is. Like usually with browns, like you're looking at something kind of a little heavier.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's nice.
Hit me with the mouthfeel.
Medium to medium full body, which I don't know. I don't agree. Well, at least with this one, maybe it's again. This fucking thing.
I'd go medium on this. Yeah. I think. Yeah.
Maybe I would go medium light to medium, if anything, but. More bitter versions may have a dry, resiny impression, moderate to moderately high carbonation. Stronger versions may be lightly warming. I could see that. I don't know about the resiny. Like, again, you're going back to this weird fucking brown IPA idea that they're going with. I feel like if I had a brown ale that was resiny, I'd throw it out. That makes no sense.
Right.
It's very weird. And again, like if you, all the listeners here, just take your phones and go to the guideline and really just look at this. The amount of times that they say homebrew version in this like guide makes no sense to me. This is the fucking commercial like brewing guideline.
And
why do you say homebrew so many times?
Again, this is 19C if you want to follow along.
Yeah, 19C. Go check it out.
What I should have done, and I didn't look at it, but I wonder, like, when does it say in the history?
I thought it was a year ago.
So
2021.
But the first one was 1986.
Okay.
So an American style from the early modern craft beer era, derived from English brown ales, but with more hops. Pete's Wicked Ale in 1986 defined the style.
Oh, okay.
Which was first judged at the Great American Beer Festival in 1992.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, this beer is still relatively young.
It's a young beer,
in the fact that it's only 31 years old. I mean,
and like you said, we just steal everything from over the seas and like they're an English brown, let's make a fucking American brown.
And but we put our fucking most intense spin on it. If in this instance,
sure.
Like last week we did. You think about last week we did the English IPA, which obviously came before the American IPA,
correct?
Right, so. You look at that and you think, well, we put a spin on that, and we put a spin on the brown ale. I mean, it's fairly evident we put a spin on the brown ale.
Well, I mean, we could say that with a lot of the beers that we've had with these, where the derivation is of, let's say, Eastern descent, like England, Germany, things like that. And they do more balanced and moderately low ABV beers just because it was drinking water. It was like they were making things with flavor, but they weren't making things that were. I feel like it was more utility than it was like anything else.
I think it was one of the funniest things was when I think it was maybe our last Power Hour. I gave you that one Polish IPA.
Oh yeah,
remember that?
Yeah.
And you didn't actually. No, you took it home. I sent you home with it.
That's
And you texted me later that night, and you said this is not an IPA. But the funny part about that is, like, that. So if you look at the evolution of that one, it went from like American or English IPA to American IPA, and then Poland tried to take the American IPA because remember that one said it was full of like Citra Mosaic, Cascade. They're trying to spin ours now, and they did a horrible job. Like they failed miserably. So,
you look at like Japan has been doing that for the last how many years? They're used to just easy pilsners and stuff and rice beer, and then they were like, all right, we're gonna do IPAs, and they sucked at it for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it's a learning curve. Like,
well, yeah,
like it an IPA, in my opinion, is people will all say, and I'll say it too, like in a Pilsner, there's nothing to hide behind, right?
Sure.
But I mean, there's
usually nothing you need to hide behind.
But in an IPA, like I don't want necessarily say you can't hide behind a bunch of hops, but if you put the wrong combination of hops and you put too many of that, I mean,
sure. You get overwhelmed, man.
Yeah. It's not there's really like there's very few easy styles of beer outside of like maybe a cream ale and a blonde or something like that, and you can still fuck that up.
So. You could fuck everything up.
Characteristic ingredients: pale malt plus crystal and dark malts. Typically chocolate. American hops are typical, but continental or New World hops can also be used. I wonder. In the American hops, I don't think we're going with the IPA hop.
No, not at all. You want to go for probably a low alpha acid hop, just to balance out any kind of bitterness that you're going to get from maybe your chocolates.
But when they say American, are we talking maybe a little bit of Chinook, or are we talking Columbus? Because you don't want to go crazy with. You don't want to hit it with Citra and Mosaic and Cascade, and I think you want something more like maybe a Cashmere even, or
sure.
or
I think we were looking.
What do you use in yours?
What do I use in mine?
You probably use English hops in yours, I bet.
No, I don't think so. What the fuck do I use?
I don't know. That's why I asked you.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
That's his...
I would say the more like low alpha acid hops, nothing too intense on your fruit or your citric acid, like, citrus flavors. I mean, I would honestly think, yeah, maybe do a little bit of noble for bittering just to get that earthiness in there. And then maybe like an Apollo or something, something that's just really, I mean, like even with my cream ale, I use like a Mount Hood, which is kind of,
there you go, or a crystal or
yeah,
something.
Exactly. It's just an easy, nothing hop that gives you balance and a little flavor, but not like overwhelming flavor,
I tell you, one of my favorite is, I like Sterling in lagers, and one of my buddies just absolutely hates.
Really?
Yeah, he's one of the guys. He's the guy that does that podcast in Texas, and I know they did a pale ale or something with Sterling, and he fucking hated it. And I was like, man, I think no, he did a Pilsner, he did a lager,
okay.
And I'm pretty sure that I talked to Paul at JFB once. They did a American light lager, I believe, with Sterling.
I feel like that makes the most sense. Like that's a good balanced hop.
I dug it.
Doesn't gonna kill you, It doesn't give you any like really intense flavors or aromas in any direction.
That's right. So the Nonic pint glass, this is what you want to use in this guy.
I got the smaller Nonic for this.
I got the smaller Nonic. That's the one that, for those of in the audio realm, that's kind of got like it flares out about 3/4 of the way up to give, to open up a little bit, give you some of that aroma. Examples of this style: HiHo Brewing in Cuyahoga Falls does a touchdown brown that I believe they've actually won gold medal at,
really,
gold or bronze at GABF. I can't remember.
That's awesome.
Treehouse does one called Bear, which is a killer beer. I've had the 3 variants of that. And then this little shitty brewery in Medina called Wrecking Crew Brewworks does one called Shotgun Banister. That's actually one of my favorites. So
it's a honey brown, though. I mean, really.
Well,
you're a lot more honey.
You're still in that. I mean, technically, you probably categorize it on Untapped in the American brown ale.
Probably has to be.
Yeah,
there's no other option. I was looking back at this at the guidelines, and it's kind of this stupid fucking guideline. It said style comparisons, right? And it was just going through things, and it says one of the aspects is less bitterness, alcohol, and hop character than brown IPAs, more bitter and generally hoppier than English brown ales, with a rich malt presence, usually high alcohol, and American and New World hop character.
Just slightly, but it's less bitter than a brown IPA, but more than an English brown.
Okay. So but yet the whole time it seems like you're talking about high hop bitterness and flavor. Yet
it's such a bizarre style. It's when I started reading about something,
I think they really need to go back through this.
This is the biggest hodgepodge mishmash style I think I've ever seen in my life.
They got to go back through it and redo that whole description because it makes no sense.
Well, okay, let's rate this thing, and let's try to rate it based on the BJCP first, and then let's rate it on our own, on its own, on standing as a lone beer.
So, as an American brown ale from the BJCP guidelines, right? It is. I totally forget what it was. Is it within the?
No, it's a little bit higher.
Yeah, that's right.
It's 0.3%.
6.5, and what's the IBU? Do you remember?
The IBU on this one is...
We're getting there.
33.
33. Okay, so we're a bit higher on both of those.
But we're still in the IBU range.
Oh, this one says 20 to 30.
So, does it? I got 18 to 35, but...
who knows?
Maybe I didn't copy it right.
I don't know. Either way.
It's close. A
little higher on the ABV, maybe within the range, maybe higher on the IBU, which is fine. I feel like SRM is good. The color's nice. It looks brown, but it is kind of that dark amber.
Yep.
Which I think is solid. It's very clear. Persistent head. Very nice beer for that factor. Basing it on the BJCP, I have 0 hop characteristics to this beer whatsoever.
I would agree.
I taste biscuit. I taste caramel. I taste a little honey. I taste some toffee with that. I feel like it's that chocolate crossing with maybe a caramel or a crystal malt. It's very nice and light, kind of like I'd say like the body of like a nice porter, but not like as heavy, even though porters are light. You know what I mean? Like it's still a little bit lighter than a porter, but not as light as anything else. So yeah, with everything from the BJCP guideline, I would say I'm giving it a 2.5. Let's say 2.5.
I think 2.5's even generous, really, based on the guidelines.
Based on the guidelines.
I mean, I was going to say a 1.
A 1?
Yeah, it's not at all. I mean, the color's fine. The caramel, roasty chocolate, that's fine. There is no fucking hops. There's no
hop aroma,
it does not
flavor,
meet
no bitterness. Yeah,
it doesn't meet that at all.
No.
Now, that's not to say this is a bad beer.
We're just going off the guidelines.
Right, going off the guidelines, I'd say.
Everyone at home, read them for yourself because they're goofy as fuck.
It's a 1. And if I'm being honest, every brown ale that I listed before that, the HiHo, Treehouse, and yours, you're all 1s or lower because
well, thanks, Kenny.
It's just there's not that hot bitterness. I mean, it's completely false.
Or the aroma or flavor, like it's just what they say. It's supposed to balance out, but it's not. With a brown ale, you really don't want it there.
No, I don't.
You want balance. You want not. I mean, depending on what you're drinking, right? If it's a straight brown ale with no sweetness, no, like this one has honey. Mine has honey. I'm not sure about the HiHo or about the other.
HiHo does not, and Bear does not.
Like, so you're gonna get maybe some of that slight roast bitterness, but it's gonna be real low. It's a brown ale. It's not like hop heavy, which this is a goofy idea that you would say that a brown ale's hop heavy, you know?
Now, with all that being said,
yeah,
I could absolutely drink a few of these.
This is fantastic. Yeah.
As a beer, like if I was just rating it without a style, just as beer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 4.
It's nice. Yeah,
it's a good drinking beer. It's refreshing. It's got a nice mouthfeel. It has a little bit of dryingness, but not much. Very, very little.
Yeah.
It's got that nice coffee, roasted caramel, chocolate flavor.
Sure.
Without being like astringently roasty. No, the honey makes a great play with the malt.
It's on the back end too, which is nice. I mean,
it sticks.
It's not forward, but it's still like sweet with a tiny, tiny sweet.
And you know better than anybody how hard it is to make honey come through in a beer.
For sure.
And if you can pick it up in any beer that's advertised as a honey beer,
right? You've
done it right. You know, you're good.
Let's go along about that.
He's got some heavy honey in that one beer, I'll tell you. So. But yeah, I would give it a 4 in like just the beer drinking world. And I would move it to like an English brown just to give it a 4. Like,
right. I was going to say, maybe that's what's happening is that people are thinking like American brown. In reality, we're all going to the English side.
I would like to know the hops that they used at Jackie O's in this. And
Ryan, let us know what the hops that they use.
Yeah, I mean, I know I know Art. I should just text him.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I met him once.
Oh, nice. Then you totally know him.
I got his phone number. I sat at his house and drank beer with him. So.
Oh, you told me the story.
Yeah, man. He had a whole fucking cooler of Mystic Mama and Who Cooks for You. He's like,
hell yeah,
have at it, my friend. I'm like, all right, brother.
It's about.
So yeah, I think. I don't know that we really closed the case on this one because it's such a weird ass file.
We gotta talk to the BJCP and make them review this style.
Yeah,
I just don't think they did a good job with it.
No, I think it might need a rewrite.
Yeah.
Well, until next time, I think we'll see you next time with the common ale.
Oh,
and
it's a rarity. Yeah.
Unfortunately, we probably won't have steam, but we'll have something else. I'm Ken. That's Bob. Cheers, friends.
Cheers.